Hello, this is Manish Patel from IchimokuTrade.com. Today is January 27, 2013. This is our weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency market, where we're going to cover all the currencies out there from dollar to yen to Australian to CAD, yen, and so forth. Normal procedures are we go for the disclaimer first and then go for all the currencies out there in the Forex market. This disclaimers basically state this is for educational use only. All charts today you're going to see are basically from TradeStation, and the music you're hearing in the background is from Guitar. Also, this is for educational use. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument at all. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. Here's our contact information here at info@eiicapital.com, or you could go to ichimokutrade.com, see our heat map, or access our multiple time frame email alerts, or you could give us a call at any of our global office locations here. Okay, so let's first go and start looking at currency. So we're gonna remember, on the left hand side you basically have your daily time frame. On the right hand side you basically have your weekly time frame. So let's go through and start looking at Australian CAD. If you look at Australian CAD, really doing nothing at all, just ranging between two different values right now. As you could see from here, let me just change this. And you could kind of see it's trying to get to this resistance level here, and basically 58.01. So it's kind of getting between there. So resistance here, if you look at it, it's 58.01. Support's going to be roughly around about 453. That's about it there. For minor support, major support's going to be around basically 259. Okay, this one, if it holds the 253 area for support, then it has a potential going up to the resistance level, and then has a potential coming up to this top of this range right now. But basically, if you trade this, you're trading a consolidation pattern. Not sure if you like that or not. Australian yen, as you can see here, Australian yen is still on a tear going up. Nothing really to talk about it here because it's trending on both the daily and weekly. It's getting overextended, but it's remained overextended for a while. Australian Twitty, really nothing going on with this guy right here. It's at a major support right now, basically at 96.65. A resistance on this is going to be 98.84. Until it breaks out one of those ranges, it's really not going to do anything at all. Australian USD, if you look here, it's trying to sit there and break out this little consolidation pattern here. It's gotten going here. Support's basically going to be around 2400. Resistance on this guy, the minor one's going to be about 24, I would say 81. And major support, major resistance on this is going to be 2707 moving forward. Australian USD, if you look at here, it's just consolidating its range. Had a chance here to break out, never broke the 600 level here to continue on to 800. So that's not good at all, and it's just sitting there consolidating for the longest time now. Excuse me. If you look here, support on this guy is going to be basically 386. If it holds there, then it has a potential going. If it breaks there, it has a potential going down to about 200, which is the bottom of the consolidation range. But this thing had a chance to break out, and unfortunately it didn't. We thought maybe it could start its trend, but it didn't. CAD Switzy, really nothing going on right now on this guy right here. If you look at this, resistance on this one's going to be about 95.15. If you look at support, it's going to be basically roughly around about right here. Which is about 91.47 moving forward. So 91.50, let's just call it that, make it easy. So it's basically ranging between those two values. CAD yen, still on a tear. Little hiccup here, a little down movement here. You can see a little pullback here. So if you look at this against the yen right now, still Australian, still the strongest here. You get a little downward movement here. People had a chance of maybe trying to get something on a pullback, but there was really not even a pullback to a good level there at all. So a lot of people didn't enter this even at all in that little pullback, but some did if they were day trading. Switzerland yen still going up, overextended just like all the other yen pairs. So definitely really good talk about Euro Australian had a huge move up here. Looks like it's trying to start a trend here to the daily time frame. But you look here, you could see there's basically major resistance right around 3,000. Support on this one's going to be about 2613. So it's making its journey to 3,000. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens once it gets there. EuroCAD. If you look at most of the Euro currencies last week, pretty much started moving up, and this is another one. EuroCAD went up. 3,600 is going to be its major resistance. It's going to run into 3,157. It's going to be basically its support. Euro Switzy, you can see here, it's gone to the top of the consolidation range, which is roughly about 2,500. Support on this guy is going to be about 2315. Just don't like trading the Euro Switzy because it's kind of pegged. Euro DKK, a little exotic in some people's eyes. Support on this guy that's held is basically 4609. Resistance here is kind of exactly at resistance, believe it or not, at 4619. So that's the resistance it has to break through. But it's kind of ranging right now. It is more momentum to the bullish side as long as it holds a 4609 area. Euro pound, this was the interesting one last week that kind of broke out. As you could see here, it's broken out here. It's at a resistance level, which is about 8,500. It's a little above it, but you know what's going to happen. This is a weekly time frame, but there's a lot of resistances going up all the way up here to 8,800. So be very careful on that one. 82.88 is basically 83.13 is basically going to be a support moving forward. Euro yen, again, this is another yen pair that's basically overextended. Not even worth talking about. Euro NOK here basically hit a major resistance right around 4,800. Support on this one's going to be 37.75 moving forward, but it's going to make a decision which way it wants to go. Euro New Zealand also hit a major resistance level, roughly about 6,200. Support on this guy is going to be basically around, I would say, about 68.31 moving forward. Euro SEK. Really nothing going on here. This thing's just consolidating right now. Resistance on basically is going to be 8,000 on this one. And support basically, a minor one's about 64.96 and major one's going to be 48.49. Euro USD. Looks like it's trying to break out here, but it is at a major resistance, very close to roughly around 3,500. Support on this one's going to be about 31.77, and major support is going to be around 28.59 moving forward. Pound USD, if you look here on the pound USD, really doing nothing here. It looks like it started to trend downwards here. But this is just a big tight consolidation pattern. You could see it's making lower highs and higher highs. So this thing's getting ready to squeeze in on a weekly basis to see exactly what's going to happen here. So not really much to talk about on that one. Your pound Switzy, really nothing doing on this one either. It's slowly trickling down here, but it's going to run into a lot of major support, roughly around 4,500. Resistance is going to be basically, minor one's going to be about 48.08, and major one's going to be 49.61 moving forward. Pound yen, just like all the yen pairs, is strong and overextended now. Pound New Zealand, really doing nothing right now. It's just at the bottom of its consolidation pattern here. This was definitely one I definitely would keep an eye on. Reason why is if you shrink this chart, you could see it's getting to its bottom of its resistance level, support level there. 8,500 is going to be basically support level. 92.63 is going to be resistance, and 94.06 is going to be its major resistance. But definitely keep an eye on that one. Pound USD really doing nothing at all, just consolidating really, so nothing really there. 6,300 is basically its major resistance, and if you look at the support, basically support's going to be roughly, I would say, it's about 47.65 right now, but I would say about 46.50 is going to be a support moving forward. New Zealand CAD. This is the interesting one here. It is at its resistance level right now, 84.23. If this thing could sit there and pull back to its minor support level, 83.45, and then make another run to break that resistance level, it's got a really, really good chance for starting a trend to the upside. So the major support is, minor support is 83.45. Major one's going to be basically roughly around 82.48. But I'd really like it to hold 83.45. Hold there, pull back to that level, and at that point hold it to pretty much go higher. New Zealand Switzy, really nothing going on, just consolidating on this guy. Support's going to be basically 76.54, and resistance is going to be basically 78.50. New Zealand yen basically overextended, just like all the other currency pairs. New Zealand USD here, you could see its resistance level is 84.50. It's got to break that level to get it to 8,800, but it's got some minor support levels right now at 83.07. That's got to hold, and then 81.94 is going to be its major support moving forward. Singapore yen, strong, overextended just like everything else. US CAD, this was an interesting one. We day traded this one going up with our multiple time frame email alerts, and you could see that at ichimokuvebsite.com. But here you could see it's basically just consolidating really in a big range. Resistance on this guy is going to be roughly about, I would say about 100. And support on this guy is going to be basically 99.68. But we basically traded all the way up to this pivot high here at 50. So this was a good trade last week. US Switzy really doing nothing at all. Resistance is going to be 84.43. Support on this guy is going to be about 9100 moving forward. USDKK really doing nothing. Looks like a trend downward here, but you could see it's at a major support right now, which is about 5400. Resistance level on this one, a minor one's going to be 6640. Major one's going to be about 8078. US Hong Kong really doing nothing. It's bounced off this major support here of 7500. It's bounced off that and trying to go up higher. When it gets to about 7600, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what it's going to do. But this thing's been holding about 7500. Should be interesting to see what happens with this in the future. US yen, again, this is overextended too. Why am I doing that? Overextended too. And you could see here, if I shrink this chart down, we're right about here, which is middle of this whole consolidation pattern. So we trace really well back into this big area here. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that moving forward. US NOK really doing nothing at all here on the US NOK side. It's at a support level right now, basically. I would say it's about 5,000, and resistance level on this one's going to be about 50 now. First one's going to be about 56.33. Next one's going to be about 59.52. US SEC, it's at a major support level right now. If this thing could break this, this has a potential going down to about 3,000. But it's got to break this minor support level right now that it's at, basically. Resistance level is going to be basically on this one is going to be about 51.52 and then 57.66 moving forward. US Singapore dollar. This is the interesting one you guys could see here. Look like it's trying to start a bullish trend right now, but it is at a major resistance level right now. It's got a break. So if it breaks that, then it has a potential of a lot more upside to at least 2,400. And if it could get there, it could keep on going up higher to maybe up here to the above the cloud. But it's got a lot of things to break to get there. And of course, support's going to be basically around 2,200 moving forward with this currency pair. Okay. That's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us here. Don't forget to go to our website, ichimokutrade.com, and access all our free resources and free tools that are out there for all kinds of traders. Thank you, and have a good